There is a lot of change in the World Endurance Championship, with LMP2 exiting stage left at the moment, and well, you've got all these new GT3 competition cars coming in as well. This means there's a massive shake in what's actually in the field and who will be driving these cars. So who is there to look out for in 24? Raffaele Marciello. Although it hasn't been officially announced yet, it is highly expected that Marciello will be one of the BMW M Hybrid V8 LMDH drivers in the World Endurance Championship next season, where he's swapped his Mercedes allegiances for BMW for this season. To say he's an accomplished GT3 racer, well, that's very much an understatement. Here's just a list of what he's achieved in his time in motorsports. Firstly, you've got his championship in the GT World Challenge Europe Endurance Cup, which he won in 2022 and in 2023. He came second in the Sprint Cup this year and has been in the top 3 of that championship since 2018. He's an FIA Formula 3 European champion. He has a race win in British GT, second in the Bathurst 12 Hours. He was a champion in the ADAC GT Masters Championship in 2022 as well. The reason he'll want to go out and impress this season is that he's a new manufacturer that he needs to prove himself to. Plus, this is an opportunity to show he's just not a quick GT3 driver, but also a quick prototype driver as well. His only other race in a prototype car was this year's Daytona 24 Hours, where he finished 8th in the LMP2 class for high class racing. So with a new manufacturer and a new racing category, he'll want to impress to keep his seat. Furthermore, this year will be the first attempt at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, so he'll want to be running at the sharp end of that field to give himself a chance of maybe winning the race. Plus, he's very committed to his endurance racing, especially the 24-hour events, as he sat in the driving seat for a mind-boggling 14 hours at the Spa 24 Hours in 2017, where he finished 3rd position in that race. 14 hours! That's almost, well, that's over half the race. Valentino Rossi. Speaking of unbelievable feats, Valentino Rossi is a 7-time MotoGP champion, a 1-time 250cc world champion, another 1-time 125cc world champion, but I expect, well, most of you already knew this because it's Valentino Rossi. Since retiring from motorcycle racing in 2021, Rossi's been taking part in the GT World Challenge Europe, where he's had great success. In his time in the series, he's taken 3 podiums, all being from this year, and one of them being a home race win in Misano. He did all this with Team WRT, who are running BMW's factory operation in the World Endurance Championship next season, with them both running the GT3 team and the Hypercar team. So with Valentino also being a BMW factory driver, it's no real surprise they went for him. It's Valentino Rossi after all. He knows the circuit well as well, taking part and winning the Road to Le Mans race in the GT3 category last year as well, so that puts him in good stead for this year's race. Rossi will also want to take home a few victories and maybe even a championship as well, as this would make him the first World Endurance champion and MotoGP champion. Robert Kubica. Everyone outside of Formula 1 knows the raw pace of Robert Kubica. It's been evident in the last couple of years of the World Endurance Championship. Yes, he did have that, very disappointing Formula 1 return where, he did beat Russell in the championship, but he failed to out-qualify Russell over the whole season. But this, in the grand scheme of things he has done in his amazing recovery after his rally crash in 2011, has been a small blip in a road of, really amazing results. 2 years after the accident, he became World Rally 2 champion, showing he can do it on gravel as well as tarmac. He's painstakingly missed out on the LMP2 victory at the Le Mans 24 Hours the last 3 years in a row, with 2021 being the most painful when, the car broke down on the final lap. I mean, I can't think of anything else more gutting in this world, really. Luckily, this was made up for when he won the European Le Mans Series Drivers' Championship in the LMP2 class in 2021, and then this year he won the LMP2 Drivers' Championship in the World Endurance Championship. The reason Kubica will want to go out and impress this season is his graduation up to the hypercar class with AF Corsa, who will be running the first customer entry of the Ferrari 499P. This will be the Polish driver's highest profile drive since his return to Formula 1 in 2019, and considering this car won the race at last year's Le Mans 24 Hours, this is a superb opportunity for the Polish driver to add Le Mans to his accolade of achievements and really round out that amazing recovery from his accident. Plus, as you find with most of these, it's a comeback story and they're hugely popular with fans, so any good result for Kubica will be popular with everyone. Callum Ilott. Ilott has had a, well, very unlucky last couple of years in racing, finishing second in Formula 2, meaning he lost out on his Formula 1 chance to Mick Schumacher, and then a fresh new start in IndyCar is ruined by a toxic fan base at Juncos Hollinger Racing. He was only improving in the series as well, with him taking career best finishes of 5th in St. Petersburg and in Laguna Seca. Luckily though, he's landed directly on his feet, with Jota snapping up the young Brit to drive their Porsche 963 in the World Endurance Championship next season. He's only made one previous start in the championship in the GTM class, with Iron Links at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Ilott achieved a 3rd place finish in the class, meaning he has a 100% podium record in the championship, which, well, that's a great omen for Jota, isn't it? The reason the Brit needs to impress this season is that it's a pivotal point in his career, as he needs to succeed. Not that he hasn't already, but due to circumstances semi out of his control, he failed to leave a big enough mark on Formula 2 and IndyCar that the senior figures in the sport haven't held on to him. Therefore, apart from Formula E, this is the last big 3 series that he can establish himself in as a big name. So if he doesn't, there's nothing he can really fall back on after this point. Plus, he's a driver people want to see winning, with a lot of support from his frustrating miss at Formula 1, as 3 drivers from the top 5 of that Formula 2 season made it to Formula 1, with, well, one of those not being very popular. Nick de Vries. De Vries is another driver that looks to re-find his feet after dropping from AlphaTauri after just 10 races in his Formula 1 career. If you forget his short run in Formula 1, De Vries is a very decorated driver, with championships in Formula 2 in 2019 and in Formula E in 2021. Meanwhile, he is also a veteran in the World Endurance Championship in the LMP2 class, where he took victory in Fuji and has a podium from Bahrain in his 2 years with Racing Team Netherlands. He had taken part in the Le Mans 24 Hours every year since 2019 until 2022, where he achieved his best finish of 4th position in the LMP2 class with TDS Racing ex Valiante. Before joining Toyota as a full works racing driver this season, he was their reserve driver between 2020 and 2022, so he's going into familiar surroundings when he makes his hypercar debut this season, unlike some. The reason he'll want to go out and impress this season, much like Ilott, is now he needs to leave a mark after his pointless and disappointing Formula 1 season, so people are reminded of the talent that De Vries can be. So being picked up so quickly by another manufacturer is extremely important after an exit from Formula 1. He's someone who will have support as well. With his unfair exit from Formula 1, people would like to see him do well to prove the Red Bull outfit wrong. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please remember to hit that like button and, well, do subscribe, and I'll see you next time. And remember to join us tomorrow for our next Apex Advent video. Goodbye.